The Cadaver Synod, Pope Stephen's grudge beyond the grave. Imagine walking into a courtroom. The judges are waiting. The witnesses are silent. The crowd is holding its breath. But the person standing trial has been dead for 9 months. His body was dug out of its grave, dressed once again in magnificent papal robes, placed on a throne, and accused of crimes before the highest leaders of the church. It sounds like something from a horror novel, but it really happened. This is the unbelievable story of the Cadaver Synod, one of the most shocking trials in human history. To understand why this happened, we must travel back to the year 897. At that time, Rome was far from peaceful. The city was consumed by political rivalry. Powerful noble families fought to control the papacy, not only for religious influence, but also for political power. Kings wanted loyal popes. Nobles wanted control. Every election could change the future of Europe. In this dangerous world, friendship rarely lasted. Loyalty could disappear overnight, and revenge could survive even death. Before becoming pope, Formosus had earned a reputation as an intelligent diplomat and respected church leader. He traveled across Europe on important missions. Many admired his wisdom, others feared his growing influence. After years of political conflict, Formosus was elected pope in 891. But his papacy was anything but peaceful. Europe was divided by rival kings, each claiming the right to rule the Holy Roman Empire. Formosus chose to support one side. That decision made him powerful enemies who would never forget him. When Formosus died in 896, many believed the conflict had finally ended. They were wrong. A new pope soon took office, Stephen VI. He was closely connected to Formosus's political opponents. Whether driven by personal hatred, political pressure, or both, Stephen wanted more than victory. He wanted revenge, and he intended to make an example of the man who could no longer defend himself. In one of history's most disturbing events, workers opened the tomb of Pope Formosus. His body had been buried for months. Time had already taken its toll. Yet Stephen ordered that the remains be brought into the cathedral. The corpse was dressed in full papal robes, placed upon a throne, surrounded by bishops, priests, and spectators. A young deacon stood beside the body. His task was to answer the accusations on behalf of the dead pope. Stephen shouted question after question. Why did you seize the papacy? Why did you break church law? Why did you betray your office? The courtroom was silent. The corpse said nothing. It could say nothing. The verdict had already been decided. Guilty. The sentence was unlike anything history had ever seen. Stephen declared every official act performed by Formosus to be invalid. His papal robes were stripped away. The 3 fingers traditionally used to bless the faithful were cut from his body. Finally, the corpse was dragged through the streets of Rome, then thrown into the Tiber River. For many people, this crossed every moral boundary. Even those who disliked Formosus were horrified. The spectacle shocked the entire city. Public outrage grew rapidly. Stories spread that miracles surrounded the body after it entered the river. Many believed that God had judged Stephen's actions. His political allies abandoned him. The people demanded justice. Soon, Stephen himself was arrested. The pope who had placed a dead man on trial was thrown into prison. Not long afterward, he died in captivity. Many historians believe he was strangled. The man who had condemned the dead met a tragic end himself. The next popes quickly rejected Stephen's actions. The Cadaver Synod was declared invalid. Formosus's reputation was restored. According to historical accounts, his remains were recovered and buried again with honor. Although the church tried to erase this dark chapter, history never forgot it. The Cadaver Synod became a lasting symbol of what happens when political ambition overpowers justice and humanity. More than 11 centuries have passed since that unforgettable trial. Yet the image remains impossible to forget. A dead pope, a courtroom, a verdict already decided. The Cadaver Synod reminds us that history is often stranger than fiction. It teaches us that when power becomes more important than truth, even the dead are not beyond the reach of revenge. And perhaps that is why this extraordinary story continues to fascinate historians to this very day. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy forgotten history, medieval mysteries, and the true stories that shaped our world, be sure to subscribe. Until next time, keep exploring the past, because history always has another story waiting to be told.